Welcome back to another episode of Hot to Trot. But before, check out our new merch. I'm sure you're jealous of our hoodies right now as you're watching this. Hot to Trot merch. We have long sleeves and hoodies, all made by Ashley.
Yep, I worked really hard and slaved over these hoodies and long sleeves to get the designs right, get the sizes right. So message us, email us if you want some hoodies, sweatshirts. Pricing is like between $30 and $40 plus shipping, but we love to get them out to you. And then if you're at a track or an event near us, we'll just hand deliver them to you. Hey, we don't care. We're just trying to get it out there. But yep, official merch now.
All right, so make sure to check out our merch, but we also have an exciting episode this week. We have from the viral TikTok house themselves, the Tratter house. We have Nick Luciano and Roy Dingus here. We're so excited to sit down with them and learn a little bit about social media because, you know, our TikTok game's okay, but it could be better.
Yeah, these guys have gone viral so many times and they're pretty good dancers. So I'm hoping that they can help me with my dancing because Donnell, we know I'm not hitting on the dancing. I'm making the weird faces. I got the weird hand movements. My dancing game really needs to be stepped up. You would have never known I was a cheerleader in high school.
Oh God, I'd love to see those days. I can't dance worth anything, but you know what? We try, and that's what matters.
Yes, pat us on the back for at least trying.
Yeah, we're happy. That's what matters. We're having fun. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
But let's get into this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy. Nick and Roy, welcome to Hot to Trot. We're so excited to have you guys today. Tell us a little bit about Tratter House for our followers that don't know what that is or what you guys kind of do.
Yeah, Tratter House is basically started out as a group of guys like 2 years ago. So originally started out as a group called Tratter Gang. And that was like 2 years ago during COVID. And then we decided to move in together to create a content house in the beginning of 2022. And yeah, we just came together. We had a big name sponsor, and our goal was just to make, you know, funny country content to bring smiles to people and also uplift the Western and country communities the best we can. So it's been a whirlwind of a ride, but basically the goal is just a group of guys making fun content and inspiring people the best we can.
Yeah, you guys have over probably 8 million followers combined. Like, what made you take off and gain all these followers?
Well, I think Blake was the one who like founded Tratters, and he basically, that's what Tratter is built off of, is his saying that made him go viral. So when he was, you know, in his room, he has this collection of toy tractors, and he would do this skit as like talking in a little kid voice and call them Tratters. And the way he would go about it was just so funny, and it just took off overnight. And then another guy online, his name is Zach Richard, he was able to do the same kind of kid voice, and those two together just took off and gained millions of followers in like 2 weeks. And at that point, Blake and I had already been friends, and I said, hey, let's collab, right? And then me, Blake, Zach got together, we collabed, and then it turned into this, you know, just group of Tratter guys now. So that's how we're just known as the Tratter guys.
Roy, how did you meet Nick?
I met Nick, I think 9 years ago at a rodeo in Pennsylvania, because Nick's originally from Maryland. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so that's how I met Nick.
What part of Pennsylvania?
South Central, a little town called Dillsburg.
I am from Shrewsbury.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
Nick, what part of Maryland are you from?
Cecil County.
I know where Cecil County. When you're from Shrewsbury, I'm right on the line. So
yeah.
You do everything in Maryland.
Yep, everybody calls it Cecil Tucky.
It's pretty country down there.
Yeah.
There's a wrestling camp down there we go to. So.
Yeah, so Roy, obviously you know harness racing. You were in it. Like, tell everyone a little bit about your backstory. And then Nick, when you learned about harness racing and you've done match races and stuff, like, what was your first reaction and thoughts on harness racing?
So obviously I grew up in the business and did that all my life, along with the riding bulls professionally. So, but I always came back to the harness world, and I actually still own a couple. My brother, he's still in it. No, it's I think the last job I had was 2021 before I moved to Texas. I was working for Chris Beaver, and what a good guy, by the way. But anyway, I said, I got to do something else. I just wanted to do something else. The harness racing was taking a toll on my body, and I was just ready to leave. So Nick called me up, said, "Hey, need some help?" So I moved in there. He needed help with his merch line, actually. And so I moved to Texas. I got threw into a house full of TikTokers. I said, you know what? I might as well join them. So
Yeah, that was interesting, Roy. You guys know Roy being a shy and reserved guy. Now he's dancing on the internet. So
I don't dance anymore.
I
You
know,
danced
but
last
you
night.
did.
When? Oh yeah, I was. Well,
Yeah, with my dog.
no, that's different.
Yeah, so yeah, originally I was, I was working on my own brand, Luciano Western Wear, and really Roy is really good with partnerships and developing, good business relationships, especially within the Western world, because he knows who is who. And so I called him up. I was like, "Hey, I want your help with like partnerships and shipping out merch and everything like that." And then he slowly got involved in Tratter House, and then started making content with BMO, and then became the dad of the group. And he our followers kind of bulled over to his, and he's got 330,000 followers now, which is awesome. And yeah, so we go by, we get sponsored by Ariat, and then we have a harness racing deal come up. And I had never really, I've always seen it, and I've been to their like one or two races before we actually got together with you guys, Trotton, because I'm used to like rodeo horses, Western horses, quarter horses. I was never really exposed to trotters or pacers, and I thought it was really cool how like the difference in horsemanship, and I loved watching the horsemanship too. So I don't know. My first reaction was that it was really cool. I was really confused because I didn't know who was who, and I didn't know how to bet a race. But the more you learn, the more you get interested. And then when you get into it, you start betting, and then you find yourself out on the side of the track screaming at the horses to win. So,
That is how it works, really.
Can I add something here? It just came to mind. So I want to know your thoughts because Nick and I go back and forth. Of course, you have the harness drivers who have their own colors, right? So when you're watching a race, you know where they are, right? Thoroughbreds, they wear the owner's colors or whatever. And Nick said, "Oh, harness racing should be that way." I said, "Well, if I'm watching Mike Smith or Luis Saez, I don't know where he is in the race until I look at the screen and say, oh, there's the 8-horse. If they had their own colors, I think it would be so much more like personable."
Coming from a harness world.
Yeah, well, with thoroughbred, I mean, we look at the saddle towels, and I do the same for harness too. I look for your saddle towels and the color, like before I look at the colors on the driver or the colors on the jock. Like I can't see that far, but I can see the saddle towel that is, the red one, and see where he is in the pack. The only one like I have problems seeing on the backstretch is usually like the white saddle cloth, but because of all their jockey pants are white. So
see, I like the harness way, like that's that driver's colors, that's their bike, you know who they are. And then it also throws me off that the thoroughbred numbers aren't the same color as the harness numbers.
Yeah.
So like 1, 2, like it mixes me up every time I watch a race, and it drives me insane.
Yeah, I get mixed up too. I'll have to keep looking down at my program when I'm watching like a harness race because I'm going right for the thoroughbred colors like instantly. But I don't know. I like the colors on the jockey, like the silks, because I feel like it gives the owner something. I feel like, the owners are very behind the scenes, but they're funding this whole thing, and them being able to design and have like their own silks is kind of a nod to them and them actually being a part of the race, being, their design and their silks are out there on the track too.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah.
helps that the jockeys are small and the same size. Drivers,
Yeah.
not all of them
Oh,
are the
yeah.
same size.
Yeah, but devil's advocate to that though, do you then take away from the drivers when you put the owner's colors on?
I don't know. Like, I don't mind when I see owners' colors on the drivers since they've tried that out now a little bit, but I don't
I don't
know.
like it.
I don't know. I'm just strictly a marketing brain, right? So in my head, someone from the outside, how do they view the sport that have never seen it? Specifically me, when I never seen it. Like you said, you guys have been in it and you get confused on which color is which. I just think the color coordination could be a little better for people to understand what actually going on. Because me walking in there and I just see all these different colors and I'm like, what? Whose horse? What is what? You know? And like, for example, and that's why like PBR teams, they did what they did by putting teams together and having all the riders wear one specific jersey. That way you can know, oh, that's the Austin Gamblers. I can walk in and be like, that's the Austin Gamblers. They're green. All right. And that just depends if like, do you want the farm to have more recognition or do you want the driver to have more recognition? Right. And I think it's a different kind of dynamic considering that the driver is racing for the farm. It's not like a team aspect, for example. So there's kind of, I can see both ways. I just think from my perspective, someone who hasn't seen it, the colors are a little confusing.
I get that. I don't know. I've always liked the tradition of harness, how like the families have variations of the different designs on the colors. I've always thought that's like super interesting. And then like your helmets are literally like pieces of art if you look at them. Like those designs are so crazy. Like I feel like my artsy side loves harness racing more than thoroughbred because they really get to like come up with their own design and look, and I don't know. I just love those like pinstripes and those intricate designs on the helmets.
Agreed.
I feel like a badass when I put some colors on.
I know I loved your videos and that and your colors, which like you guys did obviously go to the Meadowlands and worked with US Trotting. What like results did you see and why did you think that was good for racing? Because obviously you got a ton of views of people that have never seen the sport.
Yeah, I was looking at numbers the other day. When we were setting this up to go there, we were talking to the USTA and they were saying that, hey, if we get 500,000 views for harness racing, because that was their objective, to expose harness racing to a different demographic, to hit it to people that don't know harness racing. And when it was all said and done, we got about 8 million views for harness racing. And like I tell everybody, we had that celebrity race at the Meadowlands. There was people in Saskatchewan, Washington, all in the West tuning in to the Meadowlands live feed to watch us race and to watch the big races.
That's actually interesting because I have one of the questions I wanted to ask you is what do you think is more important when you guys develop content, impressions or engagement?
I think they're both like really important. I think the impressions as far as reach it's quantifiable, but you never really know how like it's going to affect somebody. So I get messages all the time. Like I'm a silent follower. Like if I'll put something out that's encouraging, I'm a silent follower, but I love this message. I love this side of you. So impressions, you never know who you're going to reach, but engagement, our average engagement rate is like 9%. So anytime we put something out, 9% of our audience is going to engage with it, which on social media, that's a great number, especially when we have over 10 million followers combined, So we put out a piece of content, every company that we work with, if we do like kind of a weekend deal or a week-long deal, I can guarantee like a million impressions plus, right? And from that 10%, that's a lot of people that are engaging with the content through all of our platforms, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's just cool to see because not only is it like a different demographic, but it's people that had no idea that this sport even existed, and just seeing us in like these colors and just doing different things. Like they don't even know what a race bike is. And like just sparking curiosity just simply through a video is, I think, worth its weight in gold, So.
Agreed. I thought it was great. And obviously all the views That always helps, just exposing and showing that harness racing and racing in general is out there. But how did you decide what content to post? Like, do you kind of plan out your post and sounds, or do you just kind of like whatever comes to you works?
We're just strictly organic. Like, if you try to script us, it's like, it's no, like, we can script ourselves, but like, we get on scene, we get sight on scene, and we're like, this would be funny. Let's just go for it. And then sometimes it turns out great. Sometimes it's a flop. I mean, that's the creative process. Like, we're at the NFR and we decided to do these like girl skits at the NFR because me and Blake, like, that's just us. Like, when the camera's off, we're just like goofy, like out of pocket kind of stuff. And then we record it. Like, and then we also, but we do have a business side. We see what's trendy. We see what's engaging. We see what the algorithm is selecting versus what it's not favoring. And then we kind of go from there because, like, for example, like when we're in our colors, right? You know, there's some trendy, like, quick little things that we can pump out very fast because you never know it's going to go viral versus something that's more educational. But in the end, we like to have a mix of entertainment and education. The blend of those two is what really it sparks engagement.
Definitely. I loved your NFR girl shopping trip. I was cracking up.
It was so true. That's why.
Yeah,
it was.
Those guys can do the voices. I said, give me the camera. You guys do your thing.
Yeah, that's a testament to like how effective TikTok is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since we've been on the platform, it's like those videos, I would say 1 out of every 2 people that came to our booth said, "Oh, I love your videos. I found you from your videos." And people don't realize that the reach that you have, if you do it correctly and not so markety, people will want to come literally in person to meet you.
Yeah.
And that is literally, the power of the algorithm. And that's what I think I would love to do with harness racing is create that fun energy and create that fun, organic, content that makes people want to come to the track,
I think we need to put you guys on a Pennsylvania horse racing tour since we do the thoroughbreds and the harness racing. Just take you a little bit of everywhere.
That'd be fun.
Because you guys have done a lot of traveling this year.
We've been everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
From Oregon to Germany we all over the place.
Yeah, I put 60,000 miles on my truck last year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So we thought we traveled a lot. We just have to travel across the state. I mean, Pennsylvania's not small, but...
What's been the wildest or funnest thing you guys have done since being in the content house?
Ooh.
I think all the doors it's open, like meeting people from the harness racing world to all the world champion rodeo people to like Bailey Zimmerman, Corey, like all the big country singers. It's crazy where this whole social media thing has taken us. I mean, so many doors opened and you get to meet so many people that you would never do just doing it like a 9 to 5.
I think the craziest thing is obviously when we go to national FFA convention or any FFA convention, the lines to meet us are insane. And I think but my favorite part about that is hearing the stories from the actual students, because it kind of solidifies why we do what we do, because I get so many stories about, how potentially like I saved their life. Like my content was something that made them smile when they really needed it. And, mental health is a big topic, and we put out content to make people feel good. Right. And I think that is my favorite part about it. And I think that will pretty much outweigh any celebrity or big experience I could ever get. If I can make an impact in somebody's life to smile or turn their life around to be better, every time I hear that, I'm just ecstatic. Because I was on a Zoom call last night with I run a mental health organization on one of my platforms, and I had a life coach come on, and this one girl came on and she said, "I just want to thank you guys because ever since like I joined this group, I've been good at setting boundaries. I've been more confident in clothes I want to wear, and I just feel like I took the power back in my life." And I was borderline like crying because I'm like, that's what it's all about. Like the views and everything is so cool, but if I can help somebody take their power back or have more faith in themselves, that's just awesome. So,
well, what's the name of that organization that you run?
It's called Club Bulletproof because my slogan is Bulletproof Mindset. So it's just a mental health organization where you come to kind of get community. If you don't have anybody near you, we have farmers and ranchers that live 60 miles from town and have no friends. So we'll do like a movie night, watch a Western movie or a funny movie. We'll do, we did a Secret Santa because like not a lot of people have people that give them gifts. It's just all about community and just building up your mental health one step at a time. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been fun.
Well, I think it's really important, like what you guys are doing. I think it's great. I'm a marketing communications person at my heart. And then like I was a fan of horse racing. So I think, social media is where it is. And our industry in horse racing has we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. But there's been some resistance for the social media and actually understanding like how much it actually drives, new fans to the industry or new people to invest in the industry. So I think it's really important that we hone this in with the racetracks and our stakeholders and our horsemen, and even like the individual drivers and jockeys, like start building up your content. You have a presence, people are looking, and I think you guys are a great story of that. Would you like to give any advice to people who are thinking about, trying to start going viral or, making some content for the industry?
Yeah, teach me your ways. I need to go viral.
Yeah, we want to basically secretly we're asking, please tell us how we can do better.
I think for me, there's a secret sauce to it, right? Like anybody can go viral, but maintaining virality and engagement is the secret sauce. So like, for example, I'll just start with this. Like when we went to, where was the place in Kentucky, Roy? Oak Grove?
Oak Grove, yeah.
For example, I was the only, like Roy was walking around with 3 cameras on him, right? And it wasn't to just like say, oh, who's this guy? It was just to capture some fun stuff. So I think one, like recording always is a good thing, right? Because you never know what kind of moments you're gonna catch. And I think a lot more drivers should just, whether it's like their wife or their friend, just have them record, because any moment could be a good moment to put on TikTok, or especially with these algorithms, because these algorithms, especially TikTok, are built for like instantaneous reach. Like you never know what is going to happen. So that's why like when we go to different places, we request that we be there like kind of 2-3 days early, because the algorithm will catch up on like your location and push it out to people local in the area. That's one thing. And then the secret sauce is like, if you do have a viral moment, how do you capitalize on that viral moment to make another piece of content, right? So, for example, like my viral moment was a Sugar Crash song. That's what people call it. It's a lip sync, right? And I did it in front of a mountain in Montana, and people loved the scenery. So now you take that viral moment and you repeat it. Let me do it in front of a mountain in Oregon. Let me do it in front of a mountain in Colorado. And it's all about just taking that. How could you one up and keep it going along the same lines? That was similar with my transitions. I'll do a transition that like is really good, and then it goes viral, but if you don't follow up on it, you aren't going to retain that engagement. So yeah, I could go on and on about social media strategy, but I think to start in the harness racing world, I think people just need to get more comfortable in front of a camera and just get it out of your head that it's got to be perfect, because social media industry has strayed far from glossed over and polished edits and perfection. So if you have a funny moment and you're laughing, to me, it's like if you're laughing while you're recording it, most likely somebody else is going to laugh while you're watching it. So why not post it?
I think we all laugh whenever I try and dance. So
Yeah, it's always good. We're a little awkward, but the awkward's kind of funny, so it's fine.
And Nick always tells me just keep pumping it out.
Mhm.
He said, I don't care, you put 5-6 TikToks out a day. I mean, it's kind of hard, but it does work.
Yep.
I really think we should like set up a conference like with you guys. We should get something going where we could invite anyone in the industry with horse racing to sit down virtually and give them like a social media marketing conference where they can learn something and take away, you know, because it's intimidating for these guys. It's very intimidating to put yourself out there, understand it. They're like, what do you mean an algorithm? I didn't go to school for this. I'm like, well, I might have went to school for this, but I didn't learn about algorithms for social media when I was in college.
Yeah, and I think people like when you were at Oak Grove, like they were excited to see you guys and like see the cameras out, and like you always see people like pop in to try to get in the video kind of thing. So like it is something that people want to be part of and do. I just think we need to get better as an industry, pumping out our content and showing off the horses and the people inside the industry.
Yeah.
So Roy, is there a particular like TikTok video or video that you've done that's like your favorite?
There is. I mean, it did really well. I got a couple 100,000, but it's definitely not a viral moment. But like my favorite is the golf club. When we were at Top Golf, my buddy slid it across and I caught it and then just hit the ball. That's my favorite one. But yeah, my viral one is the transition that Nick did. He actually did it first, and then I just copied it and it went viral. So.
The transition one was good. I like that one. That's probably my favorite of you two. I think that one's just good quality, great stuff.
Yeah,
great work.
Yeah, and it's all like it's all is I'm a creative at heart. So like any kind of video that I like to see, that I like to do, I will try it out, right? Because I want to see if I can make it. I'm like an artist with a pen to paper, but me it's all with cameras and stuff. But I view all that stuff as like top funnel, right? So when you look at marketing, like what is your big super funnel? And all those viral moments are going to be your top funnel. But like I said, that secret sauce is how you take those viral moments and funnel them down to like your Instagram, your TikTok, to your website, to harness racing, to whatever you got going on. So that's also a big part of our marketing strategy, is like just using very viral like material to spark engagement, and then taking whatever flame they have and pushing it to wherever, we want them,
Yeah, I think with horse racing, the days, I mean, of course, me and Donnell and we grew up in the business. So, it's kind of a family thing. But the days of people jumping the fence to get in to watch horse racing, they're gone, So ever since I was a kid to even today, everyone says, well, we got to do something different, but yet nobody does anything different. They say, oh, we got to help horse racing, but nobody does anything. I mean, when you advertise, who sees it? The people already in the business. So, I mean, you're not reaching anybody. So I think social media is the way to go. It's the only way to expose the sport.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with that. I mean, gone are the days. I mean, we just did buy some billboards, but really, who's really looking at billboards, and how do you actually quantify that engagement when someone drives by a billboard? Did they really see it? Do they look and go home and look up the website? So, I mean, I think looking at social media and like the new digital realm of marketing, you can actually track people and see if they're doing what you want them to do. Are they going to the website? Are they staying on your website? What pages are they going to? And it's definitely, I think it's easier to be in marketing today than, before, because we have quantifiable numbers with analytics. So we could just talk social media strategy all day. Like you said, I like this stuff.
But I think too, it's like there's a stigma around social media, and I don't understand. I mean, I do understand it, but a lot of people just aren't comfortable in front of a camera because they're in their own heads, right? And that's a lot of the stuff too. Is like a lot of people want to do social media. A lot of people want to build their own brands. They want to have a voice, but they're too scared because they're afraid of judgment online. And I think that's what like a lot of like not just the harness racing, but just a lot of folks are afraid of. And I think, just to take an approach is like, dude, if you are that passionate and that, willing to have a voice, then go ahead and do it regardless what anybody thinks. Because I mean, I have a lot of people that like, if you don't know where to start, just start. It's social media. Like there's no perfect strategy, right? People have gone viral for just standing in the mirror and dancing, right? Like we're gone are the days of perfection anymore too. So I think a lot of people just need to realize that it doesn't need to be perfect. Just start. And I think, I don't mean to be harsh when I say this, but I think it's very selfish to not do something to further an entire organization, because if you're a driver, yeah, you're furthering yourself, but you're also exposing the whole sport,
Yep.
So.
Well, we're going to put you guys in the hot seat now.
Yeah, but hold on. I got to take my dog's bones from them before we do the hot seat because it's too loud.
I thought that was Bullet.
Was it?
No, it's not Bullet. No, Bullet's sleeping.
At least they're not barking.
Okay. They're really bad. Sorry. Bullet's so behaved. I need him.
All he does is
he's
sleep.
sleeping.
They just are havoc, which Roy knows. Oscar's tail's a weapon, and he used to play with Roy all day long.
It is. Yeah, I love Oscar.
I'm going to send him to Texas.
Play date.
All right. Are you ready for the hot seat?
Let's do it.
All right.
Here we go. What is the hardest thing you have ever done?
Oh, is this for both of us or just one at a time?
Both.
The hardest thing I've ever done? Oh, Lord. I would say rewiring my brain to make sure that I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Roy boy?
Yeah. Probably my hardest thing is probably driving a horse for Donnell. Probably.
I would agree.
So much pressure.
I will yell at a driver.
Yeah, you will. But no, probably the social media thing. I mean, you get some hate comments and you're like, man, what am I doing? Like, it kind of hits you, but you have to get over that and keep on driving on. So I think starting up this whole social media thing, that's probably the hardest thing I've done.
Okay. What wild animal would you like to tame and keep as a pet?
A giraffe.
What?
I like giraffes.
You know how cool it would be just like take your giraffe on a walk in the park?
Oh, yeah. You'd be the coolest person ever.
Exactly.
Me, probably a cat, like I don't know,
What?
maybe a mountain lion or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They're wild.
Yeah. They'd eat you, but it'd be a great pet. I guess you're taming it, so.
Yeah.
All right, this one's for both of you. Who is one of your heroes and why did they inspire you?
My dad. My dad inspired me business-wise because I watched him kind of take his business from nothing to multi-million-dollar business. So seeing that as a little kid kind of inspired me that I can do anything I want to do. So,
yeah, I would say my grandma and my mom pretty much the same person. They just led by example. That thing, you don't need to set the rules when you set the example, and just the kindest people I know. So probably my mom and grandma.
Aww. What would you most like to know about the future? If you could know one thing in your future, what would it be?
Ooh. I don't know. That's one of them questions like, do you want to know the future?
That was my
The only thing I would like to know is like when specifically my trucks would break down.
Really?
Yeah, that way I can like I'm going out this day. I know my tires are gonna go out or something's gonna happen, so I should be prepared. Because I hate car trouble. That is like my it's just so annoying when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that's just like a huge pet peeve. Anything else, like I don't really like to worry about the future because tomorrow's never promised. But something like car trouble would be that'd be a nice gift from God.
Don't you have AAA?
Yeah, Nick don't know how to change the tire. He calls somebody.
Me
No,
either.
I got roadside assistance. What are you talking about? I know how to change a tire.
I got that AAA. You get a good discount too.
Yeah. Don't know if your dad heard that.
Oh, listen, Dad's bought me so many tires. He's had it with me in the curbs. I got a lecture like a week ago when I got a flat tire. It's not good. Those curbs.
All right. What is the best junk food you think has ever been created?
Cookie dough. 100% cookie dough.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. I have to agree with that. There's a weakness.
Mm.
Yeah, good call on that one.
What are you picking as your last meal?
Steak. 100% and nice. I don't want, like, if I could, I'd probably get like a 12-ounce filet, a nice chunky filet, medium rare, with wild rice and steamed vegetables.
So
and
healthy.
And a peach alani.
You've thought about this.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Mine would be something from Jeff Ruby's. I don't know if you ever ate at Jeff Ruby's, but that sushi they got, like the Godfather roll, or what is it, the Ruby roll? Unbelievable. So if you get to Jeff Ruby's, try it out.
You and Tony with your Jeff Ruby's.
Oh, no, you've been there, right?
No, I didn't go when I went to Oak Grove.
Have you never been there?
No, Tony had to ship home and we didn't end up going. Tony got me.
That's the best.
I know. I missed out. This next meet, we'll have to go.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be there.
Which of your 5 senses would you rather lose?
Oh, man.
Probably smell, I would think.
Hmm.
I mean, if you lose smell, can you still taste?
Yeah.
I think. Or,
Yeah? Yeah,
you
probably
taste
smell.
stronger. If you lose the sense, all the other ones get stronger.
Probably smell then. But I don't know. Smell is directly correlated to taste. I don't know.
Hmm. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
I would wish for my mom to just be a little bit more empowered. I wish my mom would value herself after her kids. So that's one, because she kind of loses a sense of value, and I love to help her about it. But one, I wish my mom would basically come to empower herself again after kids. What else? That's a hard one. That hot seat is like very difficult.
You guys
really
go
hot.
deep. I'd be like rich, health, just rich again.
Yeah. I don't know. So my first one would be my mom, and then I would wish that I would wish that we could mental illness was easier to deal with, because I feel like we're plagued with a mental illness throughout the nation. And I feel like if we could get better at that, then everything would get better. And then I don't know. I'd probably just want a nice side-by-side. I don't know.
Roy, do you have 3 wishes?
Well, I think I'm with Donnell. Like money for one, take care of everybody. That's a good one. 3, I don't know, but there is one wish that that I've carried for a long, long time. And Donnell, you know it, but my brother had a horse in the Hamiltonian in 2011 and made a break. He hit the gate, made a break, and I'll never forget the look on his face. Like it broke my heart. So my one wish always was to get him a horse to put him back in the Hamiltonian.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've said that for years. So
Let's do it.
Yeah. So that's 2, but that's my biggest wish.
You should wish for a new hip too.
That's true.
Oh, that's great.
Because I think, going back to the last question, the hardest thing he's ever done is probably wake up every morning.
I know that hip gets a little worse every year.
It does.
Aww. I'm sorry, they're really picking on you. We should get
It's
you
okay.
like a walker.
That's what Roy's for.
Yeah, Roy's used to
We'll
being
get you-
picked on.
Yeah, all my life.
We'll get you a nice walker for just to use in the morning till you get moving, get it loosened up.
Yeah, we were thinking about all the followers we have, set up a GoFundMe, and like if 35,000 people can give $1, I could get a new hip.
Yeah,
Ooh,
just a nice
okay.
hip replacement, brand new. We're
Yeah,
manifesting
that's
it.
all. Yeah.
A hip and a horse.
Mhm.
Prayers are on the way. All right, last one. If you could pick one TV show to live inside of for a week, what TV show would it be?
Friends,
Mm,
100%. Friends, easy. It'd be so fun.
I know. I'd want to live with Joey and Chandler.
Yeah, we'd be chilling.
TV show. I don't know. TV show. What about a movie?
Okay, pick a movie.
That's boring. It's the same 2 hours every day.
Twilight.
Ooh,
You want to be a vampire?
Yeah, I want to be a vampire.
I see you more as a wolf, Ray.
No, I want to be a vampire.
And live
Not
forever?
a bad vampire, a good vampire.
Yeah, like Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
I like it.
That'd be cool. I guess that is a cool answer.
Mhm.
I'd want superpowers.
I'd want to be a werewolf if I had to pick one.
A werewolf.
Yeah, the werewolves are so much cooler.
Why?
I
Because you
don't
could
know.
transform into a giant dog.
Yeah, and run in the snow and be really fast and scare people with your teeth and not have to talk.
Exactly.
Those vampires, they had the red eyes. They were really, really pale. I
They
mean, I'm pale,
glisten,
but
though.
They really
glisten in the
pale.
sunshine.
Yeah, they can read minds and they can do all that cool
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, they did have a lot of superpowers that were cool. Super strength,
Yeah.
could be fast.
Jacob was hot. I'm in the wolf. I'll howl at the moon with him. Well, that does it for the hot seat. You handled it pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's awesome what you two are doing, getting
Thank
social
you.
media out there, TikToks and everything. I look forward to them.
We're
Yeah,
trying.
and I'm building out like a marketing community for social media this year. So hopefully we can get some drivers in there to learn how to make some videos.
I'll be contacting you because I think that would be awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, send us any hints, any trends or things you think me and Donnell should do. We're up for it.
I'm working on it's going to be like part of my Bulletproof Mindset community, but it's going to be for creators. So it's going to be a community of creators, and I'm going to put together like a weekly email list of like the top trends and how to film them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then-
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because there's a lot of different tools you can utilize to find top trending things. And then, I mean, it's one thing to find it, but how do you actually make it? That's a lot of people that struggle with. So that's one of my goals this year is to help people with step up their content.
And Roy, you want to help us with our merch? I'm wearing some right now.
Hot to
I
try.
made
Oh,
these.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. What color? What colors you got?
They're like a
Purple.
purple. We're going with the really girly side of things because the industry doesn't really. We have ladies in racing, but we don't have like any media voices. And
Yeah.
so we went. Our little horse has eyelashes like Donnell.
That's me as a horse.
It is. A little bougie.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys very much.
All right.
We'll
thank
talk
you.
to you later.
You're welcome.
All right. See y'all.
See y'all.
Thank you to the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association. Pennsylvania's breeding industry has ranked in the top 10 in the nation for the past 20 years by the number of registered foals produced. Pennsylvania's breeding program is the forefront of lucrative breeding programs. There's plenty of opportunity to earn here in Pennsylvania. Visit pabred.com to learn more about the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association and breeding here in Pennsylvania.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here for another episode of Hot to Trot. We had a blast with Nick and Roy today. We hope you guys learned something too. Get out there, make some TikTok. Who cares what people think is what I'm taking away from it. Thank you, Nick. I am going to build myself up and start dancing better. I just know it. And if I don't dance better, I'm going to post it anyway because it's funny.
Exactly. As soon as we're done with this episode, I'm going to make videos and you guys enjoy all our TikToks after this episode. So
And message us to get the merch.
Yeah, get our merch. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. And of course, if there's someone you want to see on the show or questions you want to ask, just message us or visit us online, Penn Horse Racing. And we'll see you for the next episode. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and thank you to the Standardbred Breeders of Pennsylvania for sponsoring Hot to Trot. We'll see you next time.